Oh, hey, and welcome to MFFLtv. I'm your host Dylan, and Bobon is just finishing up an awesome back massage. What can't this goat do? He can do about everything. Um, so in today's video, I'm going to be trying creating the all-time Dallas Mavericks team. How I'm going to do this? So I'm pretty much going to take the All-NBA approach and have three teams, because there's 15 players can play for a roster. Makes it a bit easier as well if you can have more people. So, not much further ado, I'm going to get started. Just before I do, though, I will have to change Bob on, or else I'll feel guilty the whole time that he's not in there. So, just going to quickly switch to Montreal. Got a nice view, so at least we can, have a bit of a nice background while we go through the list. So, starting off the third team, point guard, got to go with Derek Harper, absolute legend of the team. Commentating now, and I think he does a really good job at that as well. But as his time as a Mav, averaged 14 points, 6 assists, and 2 steals a game. Absolute monster on defense, really good offensively as well. Not many more people you could really put in front of him. I think even putting him third team is just saying that we had really two other good point guards, so there's no complaint with him there. At shooting guard, you got to put him in. He's a champ. Jason Terry. Averaged 16 points a game, 4 assists, and 1 steal. Everyone loves the Jet, what he did in those times, especially that Mavs run as well to win the championship. He was really crucial in that, coming off the bench and just lighting it up at times. Sometimes when Dirk was a bit off, he just came in, torched it. So Terry deserves to be on this list, no questions asked. Going into the small forward, Josh Howard. There's a few people you could put in here, maybe like a Jim Jackson, a Jamal Mashburn, all great scorers. I put Josh Howard here because it's trying to put a few more current players as well. He did make an All-Star game in 2007, I believe, for the Mavs, and he was really good two-way scorer. I mean, two ways, so both good on offense and defense. He averaged 15 points, 6 rebounds, and a steal a game as a Mav. He was an absolute monster as well, and someone I think we could use right now, to be honest. We really need that wing who can score and defend, but unfortunately we can't have him. So we're just going to move on to the next one. This one, I don't think there's much complaints as well. Another champ, so you've got to try and include as many of them as possible. Unfortunately, Brian Cardinal will not be making the list, but look, he was as instrumental as anyone else, huh? So next up, Sean Marion. As I said, another champ. The Matrix, one of the best defenders in the league at his time. Very versatile player. Yes, had an ugly jump shot, but he was still pretty good with it. Other things he could do, great cutter. He had his little floater as well. So as a Mav, he averaged 12 points, 7 rebounds, and 1 steal. I think there's maybe some better scorers that you can put in front of him, but as an overall basketball player, I think you really do need to include him in the team. That being said, one person left into the third team, so let's go right ahead. Sam Perkins. Maybe a bit of an underrated Mav. They called him the Big Smooth. I think he was a bit before his time as well. He was one of the first centers I can remember stepping out, shooting threes on a consistent basis. And, not only that, he was a good defender as well, good rebounder, tough. And honestly, another person we can use right now. I think it's going to be a common expression during this video, but I think he's definitely someone we should, try and model after. He's sort of like KP with a bit of toughness, I guess, not as skilled defensively. But as his time in Mav, nearly 14.5 points a game, 8 rebounds a game, 1 steal, and 1 block a game. So I think he's definitely got to be in the list. Not too many centers the Mavs have all time that can really compete with him anyway, but definitely a steady person, would definitely have him in the team. So just recapping, the third team I have, Derek Harper, Jason Terry, Josh Howard, Sean Marion, and Sam Perkins. This list is probably going to be a bit controversial, so in the comments section below, let me know what you think, what you disagree with, what you agree with. And, it's just some fun during the off-season. So, third team's done. It gets harder and harder each time, I think. And we have to move into that second team. So, point guard. I'm going Steve Nash. I'm going Steve Nash. Maybe some people would put him first. I don't think so. He was great offensively. I think defensively he was a bit weak. But, as a Mav, averaged 15 points, 7 assists a game, and 1 steal. Everyone knows about his passing ability, the pick and roll, pick and pop. He was brilliant, his time with Michael Finley. And Dirk, of course. But, I think he's one of the best players of all time, especially one of the best point guards of all time, sorry. Maybe gets a bit underrated at times. He was a 2-time MVP, but he wasn't that with the Mavs. So that's why I have him second in the second team. Moving on. Look, a lot of people might get angry, and this guy maybe should be in the first team, depending on who you ask. But Rolando Blackman, absolute beast on offense, mid-range assassin, really good at putting the ball in the hole. So, as a Mav, averaged 19.2 points a game on 50% field goal and 84% free throw. He was one of the old school Mavs that really brought the team alive. So he was instrumental in the history, and I think that's why you really got to include him. His stats, 19 points, didn't do much else with rebounds or assists, but just offensively, he was absolutely amazing. If you see his highlights as well, beast in mid-range, crossed up Michael Jordan. That's an achievement as well. But Rolando Blackman is in my second team. Moving to the small forward, I'm going with my man Michael Finley. Fun fact, I don't know if you can see this. Oh, there we go. Michael Finley came to Australia in about 2010, maybe 2009. I'm not sure exactly on the year, but my rep basketball team here in Australia versus the high school team in Dallas, and Michael Finley was close to them, came with the team, and we got to meet him, which was awesome. He signed the basketball, talked some basketball. I was nervous as hell, but it was really cool. He's a really cool guy. Not only is he an awesome person, but he averaged 20 points, 5 rebounds, 4 assists, and 1 steal as a Mav. Absolutely stuffed the stat sheet, could do everything. And I've definitely got him on the list. He's one of the best Mavs of all time. He's now working in the front office, and I couldn't put him off the list. So definitely have Michael Finley there. Now moving to the 4, going with Mark Aguirre, averaged 25, 6, and 4 as a Mav with 1 steal a game. Those stats are ridiculous. Honestly, probably should be in the first team, but you will see why he's not. Maybe because of bias, maybe not. It's because of bias. But, he's absolute beast. A lot of people remember him from his time in Detroit, I think. But what's a bit underrated is his time in Dallas. He was an absolute monster, did everything. And I think that's, not talked about enough. With in the old days with Rolando Blackman, really one of the instrumental Mavs in just, carrying this franchise, I guess. So definitely got to give him his dues. And at center, I know a lot of people don't like him anymore, a bit low on him, but Kristaps Porzingis, look, we don't have many centers in Mavs history that could really compete with him. And 20 points, 9 rebounds, and 2 blocks a game as a Mav is nothing to, it's not easy, that's an achievement. 20 and 9. Yes, in the playoffs he wasn't great, but those putting up some good stats, nearly 2 blocks a game as well. That is just monstrous. So I had to do that. But got to give the chat some love. So just recapping, my second team went with Steve Nash, Rolando Blackman, Michael Finley, Mark Aguirre, and Kristaps Porzingis. Man, what a team. If we had that would be absolutely amazing. Unfortunately, they didn't all play at the same time. So that's my second team. I think you guys are realizing that one of them should be in the first, but we're not going to talk about that right now. We're just going to keep moving on. So here we go. This is probably where I'm going to get quite a lot of hate, but look, it's my list. It's just for fun. Tell me how badly you disagree with this. So I'm going to start from center and then move backwards. My center, Tyson Chandler. He wasn't the offensive player Porzingis was, but he was an absolute enforcer down low and a champion. I think that's something you can't belittle. And he was honestly maybe the most instrumental piece in taking us to that next level. We were always on the cusp, but he really just brought that toughness, that physicality that really took us to the next level and not let other teams bully us as well. So I think he's someone that you definitely got to pay respects to. As a Mav, averaged 10 and 10 with 1 block a game. So Tyson Chandler was an absolute monster. Wasn't the best stat-wise, as I said. So, first team, you could maybe look at someone else there. But I think what he did for the Mavs team was too instrumental. He's a champion. You got to put him in that first place. Power forward. Do I really need to say this or should I just skip it? Just for formality, Dirk, the best Mav of all time. As, champion, finals MVP, carried this franchise his entire career. But as a Mav, averaged 21, nearly 8 rebounds on 38% from 3 and 88% from the foul line. Those are also including his later years when he sort of was on a downhill spiral and sort of averaged a bit less. And those are still ridiculous stats. Those are for his entire career. He was a long-time Mav. So gotta love Dirk, pay his respects. Everyone knows Dirk's going to be in the first team. Now moving up, small forward, I'm having Luca. Could he maybe top Dirk as the all-time Mav? We have to wait and see. As of right now, I'd say no. If he doesn't win a championship, then I'd probably say no as well. But, talent-wise, not many people that could stack up against him. Dirk even said he's better now than Dirk ever was in his career. And that's not something to take lightly, Luca's an absolute monster and he's only been getting better each season. As a Mav, he's averaging 26, 8.5 rebounds and nearly 8 assists a game. That is absolutely monstrous. Nearly averaging a triple-double, and it's only his 3rd season in the NBA. It feels like he's just going to keep getting better. Don't know how, but looks like he will. So I had to put him in there. As the point guard, I'm going Jason Kidd. He had 2 stints with the Mavs. His later one wasn't as great stats-wise, but hey, he won a championship and was also really important for that team. As a Mav, he's averaged 11 points, 8 assists, 6 rebounds, and 2 steals. So another guy that just stuffs the stat sheet. Amazing defender. Really improved his 3-point shot, which was important for the finals run. And, one of the best playmakers of all time, getting people in the right spot, having everyone get their touches. Everyone, he knows when people are hot, so to keep feeding them. And I think Jason Kidd, current coach, so got to give him his love. He's absolutely on my first team. And at shooting guard, my favorite player of all time, I'm going Vince Carter. I don't care what you say. Does he deserve to be here? No, but it's my list. He's my favorite player. So I am putting Vince Carter in the first team. If you want to hate, you can hate. I'm ready for this. But as a Mav, averaged 12 points, 4 rebounds, 2.5 assists, 1 steal on 39% shooting. I know a lot of other people put up better stats, did better things for Dallas, but it's my list. Vince Carter's going there. Interested to see who you'd actually have in your first team. Tell me what you disagree with besides the Vince Carter one as well. Tell me what you agree with. Interested to see if anyone agrees with me on Vince Carter. I guess he's maybe the one marquee free agency signing Dallas has had, although it was later end of his career. Still a Hall of Famer, still someone that decided to come here, which I think is pretty cool. So those are my lists. As I said, really enjoying doing these live streams. I hope to do them more in the future as well. Let me know some ideas on future live streams that you'd be keen on. Also, just comment what you think about Mavs overall. Always love chatting with you guys in the comments. Also, make sure to like and subscribe. It really does help out the channel. And like I always say, if anyone wants to comment right now, we can have some fun talking basketball. If not, then might have to wrap it up soon. But just a little recap of my teams before we end it. So the third team had Derek Harper, Jason Terry, Josh Howard, Sean Marion, and Sam Perkins. Don't think there's much to argue there. Maybe you could put in some better scorers, like I said, like a Jamal Mashburn or a Jim Jackson. But yeah, I think that's pretty straightforward. Second team, Steve Nash, Rolando Blackman, Michael Finley, Mark Aguirre, and Kristaps. Also had to try and put in some new current players, so Kristaps I thought should be there. And first team, Jason Kidd, Vince Carter, Luka Doncic, Dirk Nowitzki, and Tyson Chandler. So those are my teams. Let me know what you guys think. Always love doing these, so stay tuned for more in the future. But for now, I'm off. Peace, and I'll see you on the next one. Bye.